And welcome back to the Sly Guy TV. You're watching the Sly Guy, Kaboom, Kaboom, and Super Erhnam. Kaboomo, yeah, Kaboomo, yeah. It's the land, it's the man, it's the perfect plan. It's the Erhnam, it's the Erhnam. Erhnam did now in the mono green deck. Erhnam on ice in the mono green deck. This is just the super stompy old school deck. I have offended you again, so I guess this is the end. Because everybody knows you're such a snowflake and you're just quite upset at every single thing we said. Everybody knows it's all just in your head. Wasted feeling, going, speaking. You know why you've crossed the line when I said that you were mine. Going, skiing, no hard feelings. Since you will not be my girl, this is the end of my own. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Sly Guy TV. And now, we are featuring Erhnam on ice. Now, my version doesn't use Ice Storm. In fact, I was supposed to get Ice Storms, but they were super hard to find. So I instead used Desert Twister, which is more versatile, more flexible, as it destroys not just lands, but it can destroy any single permanent in play. With 4 Wild Growths and 4 Llanowar Elves in the deck, I am constantly able to play turn 6, turn 4. Okay, on turn 4, I can cast 6 cost spells as fast as that. 4 cost spells as early as turn 3. So that's basically how fast and how lightning quick the deck is. And of course, the namesake card, every green deck, whether old school or Legacy, uses Erhnam the Djinn. Erhnam the Djinn, still one of the best old school creatures, a 4/5 creature, which gives your opponent's creatures Forest Walk, which shouldn't be that much of a problem since he's a 4/5 body, and most of your opponent's creatures will have flying anyway, just like the Serendib Efreet or Sarah Angel, so your creatures couldn't block them. But this guy, he basically beats the opponent down as early as turn 3. That's how powerful Mr. the Djinn is. Now, before, Erhnam the Djinn was paired up with cards like Armageddon. But with a faster old school meta, people are now playing with Ice Storms. Ice Storm, which will allow you to destroy a land as early as turn 2. Then you can follow it up with another Ice Storm and a Strip Mine, another Ice Storm, and then eventually a Desert Twister. So this follows the green Ponza strategy. Ponza was started by, I forgot his name, Matt Lauer, I think. Matt Lind, not too sure. But what he did is he used red spells, Avalanche Riders, Burn, and he used Land Destruction. So this actually follows that same strategy. A mono green Land Destruction deck that just assaults your opponent. Alright. Now, another classic card that everybody loves. This is actually one of my first cards, actually. And actually, this dude makes it in the deck, so he's not the Arabian Nights version. He's the Chronicles version. You're going to be seeing the Arabian Nights version later on in other in another video, the Erhnam Geddon video. So this guy is the Craw Worm. And back then, in the early 90s, these guys were so highly sought. People wanted big creatures back then. People didn't want Black Lotuses. They didn't want the Moxen. No Time Walks, no Time Twisters. They wanted big, bad, powerful creatures. Shivan Dragon, Sarah Angel, this guy, Sengir Vampire. And in fact, since the biggest creatures can be stopped by Royal Assassin was also a highly sought after card. People would actually pay a lot of money for Royal Assassins back then. Although now, they're not really worth anything, they're just worth a few pennies now. But back then, man, Royal Assassins were the creme de la creme. They were the best creature that you can actually have. and stopping the big bag minis. Now, another creature that we have here, that I have a picture of, is also the Force of Nature. Force of Nature, an 8/8 for 6, in which you have to pay 4 mana every upkeep. If you don't, Force of Nature will deal 8 damage to you. So truly, a force to be reckoned with. And when an opponent would cast a Spirit Link on it, things would get really funny really fast because he'd damage you and then he'd gain all the life. So it was just really funny situations with involved the Force of Nature, which is why I've got Spirit Links in my mono white Weenie deck. So other cards that are included here are Scrib Sprites, 1/1 flyers. You've got Giant Growth and Argothian Pixies and Scavenger Folk. Scavenger Folk destroys artifacts. So it's just similar to what Elvish Lyris did in the newer versions of Stompy, but this time you'd sacrifice it and it would destroy an artifact. And another card that people actually loved was the Argothian Pixies. Pixies would block Mishra's Factories. So let's go to the deck here, because the deck also uses Mishra's Factories actually. So let's go ahead and check it. Yup, there's the Erhnam deck. So the Pixies would be immune to Triskelion and Tetravus. They would be immune to Juggernauts and Suchis, which are the top creatures in old school today. Gazban Ogres and Nafsas would whittle away at your opponent's life. And like I mentioned, the Pixies were there. And the deck also used Mishra's Factories of his own, because Mishra's Factory is one of the best and most, basically one of the most difficult spell to kill unless you had land destruction or instant removal. There you go. Wild Growth would add up the ramp. Mishra's Factories would actually be there. That's a deck in action. And this is one of the cards in the deck. Mr. Erhnam the Djinn. Erhnam the Djinn. Of my most favorite cards in old school Magic. There's the Force of Nature. You just passed it. But I think I'm gonna put it into there's a revised Wild Growth right there. One of my 4th edition Wild Growths is damaged, so it actually is considered marked. So I'm gonna have to get another Wild Growth, or maybe just a bunch of sleeves. Yeah, just sleeve up the cards. As you see, that damaged card that you saw in the center, that was the other Wild Growth. Super damaged. Super terrible condition. But you can expect that from old cards, because these cards are like almost, what, 20? 25 years old. So lots of wear and tear. Cards have definitely been loved, and sometimes a little too much. That they've been damaged. Oh yeah, there's the Force of Nature. So that's how an open and draw basically look like. You'd play a Scrib Sprite. Other builds use Pendelhaven, but I don't like using too many non-basic lands, because that'll ruin the curve, and that'll ruin my chances of playing like my Wild Growths. Especially if I get too much non-colored mana from Strip Mine and from the Mishra's Factories. There's Force of Nature. There's another one. So yeah, as you can see, you can just have him attack an 8/8 Trampler. Okay, basically nothing, absolutely nothing can stop an 8/8 Trampler. 8/8 Trampler is purely dope, super insane, super powerful. And once again, this is the Sly Guy with a Sly Guy TV, and we're signing off. Right now, yeah, here we go, it's Mo Twister, it's the Desert Twister. Desert Twister, destroy every permit in the game, destroying everything from Sarahs to their Shivas to their Senjirs. We destroy